Right now at 6, a verdict reached in a decades-old murder case revived with DNA evidence.
Plus, President Trump's changing tariffs creating uncertainty on Vancouver's waterfront.
That causes some challenges for us in terms of planning and understanding, what's out there to work on.
Then, a new approach for local veterans looking to get back on track.
Never treated us like prisoners, never reminded us of the crime we did.
And later,
the river is my happy place, for sure.
the adventure company giving teens and young adults a new avenue to explore the outdoors.
First at 6, a verdict in a murder case dating back to the 1980s. Thanks for joining us. I'm David Molko.
And I'm Christine Pitawanich. The jury found Robert A. Tropps guilty of second-degree murder in the death of his wife. Catherine Cook is live outside the Washington County Courthouse and just spoke with the lead prosecutor on the case. So, Catherine, what did she tell you?
Guys, she's thrilled with the outcome and grateful that the family now has justice, albeit some 37 years after the murder. Debbie A. Tropps was found strangled to death in the trunk of her car in 1988. The case went cold until 2 years ago. That's when detectives uncovered DNA evidence that prosecutors say helped prove that her estranged husband, Robert A. Tropps, murdered her. But prosecutors say DNA was just one of several key pieces that proved their case. The biggest one being motive.
He learned that she was having a relationship with somebody at her work, and she had actually told family and friends that if he finds out about this relationship, he will kill me. And that was within a week of her murder. She said that he had found out and had asked her about it.
Prosecutors say the man Debbie was having in a relationship with cooperated with them, but in a twist, he died by suicide not long after they asked him to testify in the trial. Investigators say they believe his death was not motivated by the case. Robert A. Tropps will be sentenced May 20th. Prosecutors are asking the judge for life or a minimum of 25 years. In the meantime, A. Tropps remains lodged in the Washington County Jail. Back to you.
Close to a conclusion some 37 years later. Thank you so much, Catherine.
In your headlines now, the Clackamas County Sheriff's Office has identified the missing kayaker who witnesses saw go over Willamette Falls. He is 20-year-old Marcellus Angelo Rodriguez from Porterville, California, who'd arrived in town Saturday night with his family. The Sheriff's Office says several people called 911 after seeing him in distress. One witness saying he tried to swim to shore. His body still has not been recovered.
The man who was arrested after 2 police standoffs in Northwest Portland pleaded not guilty in court today. Police initially tried to arrest 44-year-old Raul Nava Jr. on Monday and on an identity theft warrant. Officers ultimately pulled back after they say Nava maced and threatened them with a knife. Yesterday, officers tried again using an armored vehicle, CS gas, and evacuating buildings around Nava's tent so they could arrest him. He is now facing additional charges, including attempted assault on an officer and menacing. Court records show Nava also has cases pending in Clackamas and Washington counties. He has not showed up for them.
The ACLU has filed a lawsuit on behalf of an Oregon State student who says his student visa was terminated earlier this month without cause. PhD student Aaron Ortega Gonzalez is a citizen of Mexico. The ACLU says Gonzalez learned about his status after the school checked a federal visa database. They say the lack of justification given follows a pattern under the Trump administration.
Aaron's followed the rules. He's not so much as had a traffic ticket. So again, this sort of arbitrary pattern that we're seeing across the country seems to be at play in Oregon as well.
Gonzalez's current research focuses on how wildfires impact rangelands.
Oregon Governor Tina Kotek has fired the director of the state's Public Defense Commission. Jessica Camphy had been the commission's executive director since 2022 and oversaw the changes that brought state-employed public defenders into the contractor-based system. But since then, the number of criminal defendants going unrepresented in Oregon courtrooms has gone up. The governor called the situation unacceptable. She appointed former Oregon Criminal Justice Commission Director Ken Sanagrin to be the interim interim head of the commission.
And in a Diamond Project update, the effort to build a major league waterfront ballpark and lure a pro baseball team to the Rose City has now cleared a key legislative hurdle. Today, the Oregon Senate passing a bill that would authorize up to $800 million in state bonds to help build a stadium on the South waterfront if, and it's a big if, Major League Baseball awards Portland an expansion franchise. The bonds would be repaid over 30 years by taxes on the salaries of the future team's athletes, staff, and visiting teams. That bill now heads to the House. Matt?
Hey, David, if we had baseball happening in Portland tonight, the roof would be open with the weather we have. Exciting prospects there for sure. Out of the Reserve Golf Course, we got plenty of those around town. 70 degrees right now. A beautiful day to hit the links or do anything that you like to do outside. And you know what? Tomorrow is going to be even warmer. Look at the Cascades right now, looking south from our sky cam at Timberline in the Mount Hood National Forest at Mount Jefferson, the Three Sisters. Just some scattered, very thin high clouds up there. Pretty warm up at 6,000 feet. Look how dry it is, though. The dew point temperature is only 9. Combination of that means the humidity is only 22%, and our humidity here in the valley is also down around 18 to 20%. So it is very dry air that we're dealing with right now. We've got a beautiful Friday on the way. It's just going to be great. Shower Saturday morning and then again Sunday afternoon. So the Easter weekend kind of sandwiched in showers, the showers being the bread on either end. In the middle of it, though, it should be dry, and the Sunday temperatures will be cool. 8 a.m. about 45, by noontime 50, about 59 later in the day, and that's when we get the showers after about noon to 5 p.m. on Easter Sunday, so plan accordingly for that. Also coming up, the Lyrid meteor shower heading towards its peak next week. I'll let you know when, where to look, and what you might see. Guys?
Egg salad sandwich with a side of meteors. Thanks, Matt.
Wall Street had a bit of a choppy day today. The Dow closed down 500 points after President Trump said he expects to reach trade deals with China and the EU. China has signaled some willingness to negotiate, but has also said it will not back down from the U.S.
The whiplash continues. Meanwhile, Senator Patty Murray was in downtown Vancouver talking to business owners, union leaders, and sounding the alarm over economic uncertainty. Devin Haskins is live in Vancouver. So, Devin, what does the senator have to say?
Well, Senator Murray says the Congress needs to take control of these tariffs that Trump and his administration are passing by passing legislation. Small businesses and businesses alike, though, are feeling the pinch. Murray says the tariffs and the long-term impacts from them could get worse. President Trump says tariffs are designed to bring back manufacturing jobs. The U.S. has slapped a 10% tariff on most countries, with some like China seeing tariffs climb well over 100%, which in turn have imposed their own high tariffs.
If this continues long term, we will lose our market share. We will see a lot of our products go to British Columbia rather than fueling jobs here at this port.
In Vancouver, Senator Patty Murray says the main issue she's hearing from businesses is the lack of predictability.
We have to take action as Congress to be able to reassert our power to make sure that tariffs are not impacting particularly our state, but across the country.
At Thompson Metal Fab, she sat down with union leaders and local workers to hear how current trade policy is playing out on the ground.
We are very concerned about certainly the inconsistency in trade policy.
The company CEO says tariffs can help, but only if they're consistent and predictable.
It's great for steel manufacturers if you make steel. It's not so great if you're a manufacturer downstream.
He says the biggest struggle hits in the gap between when they bid a project and when they actually have to buy the steel.
That causes some challenges for us in terms of planning and understanding, what's out there to work on and how we're going to manage our workforce and how we're going to buy the steel, when we're going to buy the steel.
And that uncertainty, Senator Murray says, is rippling through small businesses, farms, and into consumers' pockets.
Is going to impact people in ways that it's really hard to see right now.
Republicans and Democrats are trying to push a bill that would make tariffs expire after 60 days or require congressional approval to extend them further. Democrats are backing it, and they do have some Republicans backing it on their side as well, but not enough to get it passed. Back to you.
Devin Haskins reporting live from Vancouver. Thank you, Devin. And now at 6, Multnomah County launched a new path forward today for veterans in the criminal justice system.
It's a treatment court that prioritizes support over jail time. Alma McCarty's live in downtown Portland with the details. Alma?
David, Christine.
This idea has been in the works for several years, with the DA here hoping to put at least 100 people through this program each year, 100 veterans, I should say, those who have been honorably discharged but somehow lost their way. After a decade of trying to get this program off the ground,
veterans face some different challenges and have some different needs than the general population.
Multnomah County now has a Veterans Treatment Court.
It's a tangible program that not only honors our victims, holds offenders accountable, increases our public safety, it also honors our veterans and allows them to get at those root problems of why they're in the criminal justice system to begin with.
Prosecutors and public defenders alike praising the effort.
And it is evidence-based. We've seen treatment courts by and far be the most cost-effective way to reduce recidivism rates.
It's not a new concept in our state.
There are many communities across the nation that do this.
In fact, Washington County has had one since 2018.
Well, what got me in there was domestic violence, and so I was facing 3 years prison.
Thomas Carson, an Army veteran medically discharged after 15 years of service, opted to go the Veterans Treatment Court route, skeptical at first.
But the judge and everybody that was on the team was wonderful. They never treated us like prisoners and never reminded us of the crime we did.
He says all he had to do was take accountability. 2 years later, after connecting to services and support, he graduated, the 34th to do so.
Just one of those good and joyous things when we can get someone across the finish line, because we feel like we're really paying a debt to that veteran for what they've done for us.
For those who may be considering this path forward, Carson has this advice.
This here, the guidance, the connection, to help, this is a second chance.
Now, DA Barton tells me that this program does not apply to every veteran, nor does it apply to every crime. That will be the case here in Multnomah County as well. Now, back in Washington County, 50 people have graduated from that program since it began. David, Christine, back to you.
Lots of second chances. Alma McCarty downtown. Thanks, Alma.